I'll just give a quick update on our expanding copper discovery in southern Spain, as Eric said, it's in the Iberian Pirate Belt. But I'll also say why I think we will make additional discoveries in our land package. Forward-looking statements. I think I'll just start by saying that I think Pan Global is well positioned to jump the queue in terms of putting the next copper mine into production. We have near-surface, potentially open-pittable copper mineralisation in an established mining area. So I think we represent a great investment opportunity going forward. So the project is, our main project is the Escacena project. It's located on the eastern end of the Iberian Pirate Belt. It's the most prolific volcanogenic massive sulphide district in the world. There are 7 large operating mines today with operators such as Lundin, First Quantum and so on. So it's a very active mining area. It has excellent infrastructure. We have sealed road access to our property. Freeport has a smelter about 70 kilometres away, so it's a great area to be developing a new project. So just zooming in on the project area itself, you can see it here outlined in yellow. All of our exploration at the moment is focused just on the little red blob in the bottom at La Romana, which is where we've made our copper and tin discovery. Now this just shows the proximity to some of the other operations in the area. So about 20 kilometres off to the northwest, Atalaya are mining a large open pit. It's the site of the original Rio Tinto ore body, probably the world's largest volcanogenic massive sulphide deposit, originally around 2 billion tonnes or thereabouts. Right next door to us, Group of Mexico are looking to restart the Los Frailes mine. Together, the Asnocoya and Los Frailes deposits represent about 160 million tonnes of ore. And then you've got First Quantum mining the Las Cruces deposit a little bit further to the east, and that was probably one of the highest grade open pit copper mines in the world. So we're very well located. I'll just draw your attention to the area labelled there as Al-Andalus, and as Eric said, that's an area we're expecting to announce that start of work and granting of that area any day now. So that represents a significant milestone for the company when that gets granted. We've got a lot of high priority targets in that area. So just a quick update on La Romana, an overview. We've only tested one target in our project area at this stage, and our first drill holes in that target were discovery holes. You can see hole 2 here, 20 odd metres, about 1.5% copper equivalent, with a nice high-grade section of 7 metres at 2.5% copper, 0.23% tin, some silver, gold and cobalt. So again, importantly, from close to surface, that mineralisation had significant tin, and that's important for a couple of reasons. Firstly, potential commercial value of the tin, but also what it indicates from an exploration perspective as well. High tin tends, in VMS deposits, tends to only occur in the very large copper-rich deposits. And 2 of the best examples of those are Nevis Corvo and Kidd Creek. So we've drilled to date, in fact we started hole number 105 today. We've hit mineralisation in every hole so far, so it's a pretty good hit rate. We started our phase 4 drill program this year. We completed 28 holes up until January this year, and we're now, as I said, up to hole number 105. We've now shown copper mineralisation continuous over about 1.1 kilometres of strike east-west, with mineralisation from surface extending to about 350 metres down dip, average thickness a bit over 20 metres. But we do have some much thicker intervals as well. So you can see some of the results here. Hole 40, 50 odd metres at 1% copper equivalent with a high grade section within that. Hole 58, 15 metres at nearly 1.4% copper equivalent, again with some high grade. But we're waiting on a large number of drill holes, at least 25 holes. So about a quarter of all the drilling we've done so far, we're still waiting for results. And we know from what we can see in some of those holes, we've got some very strong mineralisation. So, as Eric mentioned earlier, this backlog of assay results to come in. So a lot of news still to come. We've also got some metallurgical test work underway as well to look forward to towards the end of the year, hopefully. So this is just a plan view showing the area where we've been drilling at La Romana. So we've got the area now, the drill area now spans about 1.3 kilometres east-west, about 350, 400 metres north-south. The mineralisation is open to the west, to the east and down dip. We think it could extend perhaps another 500 metres or so further to the west in the direction of the old La Romana mine workings. The mineralisation in the westernmost holes looks very good, so it's very much alive. This deposit will grow. Going in the other direction, there's some old Exxon IP information which traces the trend another 1.5 kilometres further to the east. So we've got lots of potential here. This is definitely going to grow. A couple of simple cross sections. The mineralisation is remarkably continuous, very predictable, very little in the way of offset by faults or deformation. We hit the mineralisation every time where we expect to hit it, so we're fortunate in that regard. So you see the picture on the left here, a couple of the original discovery holes, hole 2 and hole 5. Good thicknesses, wide zones of high-grade copper mineralisation almost from surface. You can see hole 5 with nearly 30 metres at 1.3% copper equivalent. And then on the other side, another section, much thicker zone of mineralisation, hole 40 with 52 metres of about 1% copper equivalent, and one of the recent holes we just reported, hole 64, which had a wide zone of supergene chalcocite mineralisation. We've also hit some very high-grade massive chalcopyrite in the far northeast of the area. You can see a couple of pictures here, hole 15, hole 19, up to 14% copper, really nice mineralisation. And we've also, in some of the recent drilling, been intersecting some high-grade supergene enrichment style chalcocite. You can see an example there, hole 58, with some massive chalcocite. So the geophysics is working very well. In this picture, the downhole EM conductor anomalies in the IP coincides very well with the copper mineralisation, and this just shows that the mineralisation is likely to extend further at depth and is still open both east and west. So this, again, telling us this is going to grow further yet. We've also begun drilling a couple of satellite targets, IP anomalies, strong targets that look just like the signature over La Romana. We've completed the first 2 of those holes, hole 101 and 97, and we've got 2 other holes planned on a couple of other IP targets. We're encouraged with what we've seen, so again, we look forward to the assay results. So just stepping back now, so all of our exploration at the moment has been focused in the green area labelled Escacena and primarily at the La Romana target. With the yellow area called Al-Andalus, that's the area we're expecting to be granted any day now. That's going to more than double the available exploration area, but more importantly, it's going to give us access to a number of very high quality targets where I think we're going to make another discovery. We've got at least 10 other targets in that area. So just looking at the gravity image here, you can see the signature, the gravity anomalies over Asnocoya and Los Frailes, both very big, massive sulfide deposits. Gravity anomalies in this part of the world are good news. Both the Los Frailes and the Las Cruces deposit were discovered by directly drilling gravity anomalies, and our own discovery at La Romana was found by drilling a gravity anomaly. So we have a bunch of other big gravity targets in this area that are untested, and why I think we're going to make additional discoveries. So I'll just zoom in on a couple of those targets. So you can see on the left-hand side the Bravo gravity anomaly. It's about 2 kilometres along strike from La Romana. There's an old IP trend that Exxon IP data extending in that direction. very big target, completely untested, really high priority in this part of the world. On the other side, you can see the Pilar Viejo and La Jarosa targets, very near to the Aznajoya open pit. Again, a very big gravity anomaly with some copper mineralisation on the margin of it. An old drill hole that Exxon did back in 1985, 9.5 metres at 1.4% copper, never been followed up. There was also some chalcopyrite at the base of cover in an old rotary drill hole as well. So again, this looks very good, and we've got several other big targets just like these elsewhere in the property, so watch this space. All right, so a bit on the capital structure. We've about 190 million shares out. About 10% of that is held by the directors. We're cashed up. We've got about 15 million in the bank at the moment. We're expecting close to another 2 million in December with the exercise of warrants. That's at 24 cents each. So we're primed and ready to go to hit the ground hard going into the new year and test some of those big targets in the Al-Andalus area. And also to continue to grow the La Romana deposit. So check us out.